Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome back to the prologue. Thankfully, we're almost done with the prologue. We just have to fight our father, Greil, and we should be on our way. Fortunately, Greil really isn't that hard. One thing I want to show you really quickly. You have some stats right here. HP is your health, MT is how much damage you'll do, hit is the hit percentage. So, both of us have 100% right now. So we can't miss, basically. So it's always good when you have 100, a 90, and sometimes even an 80 or 70. Anything lower than that, you might be risking it a little bit. But thankfully, we should be able to take out Greil no problem. He's really not that hard. They only made him easy for the sake of actually beating him. And they'll explain why they did that in a little bit, but yeah, we could just go ahead and finish him up. Greil should only be able to do 6 damage, while you should be able to do 9, which doesn't make sense right off the bat, but whatever. This is a video game. I'm not here to explain video games. I'm here to play video games. And Ike did level up. He gained a few stats. He gained hit points, skill, speed, luck, and defense. I want to be explaining these stats in a little bit, so don't worry, I will explain what each of the stats do. And we finish the battle, but we find out that Greil was actually holding back. But hey, he had to hold back. I mean, he's supposed to be really powerful, isn't he? He's the leader of a mercenary company. He has to be powerful. So yeah, he was definitely holding back. And Boyd actually wasn't. He's trying to cover himself up, but Boyd really isn't that good. But you know what? He's an awesome character, so you know what? Maybe he was holding back. He probably was holding back. Boyd is probably Greil in disguise, and that Greil you see on the screen right now is just a clone of Boyd. Who knows, though? Boyd is probably running the whole operation for all we know. Okay, so guess what? We have joined the mercenary company, and that was Ike's goal, so we've fulfilled our goal for today. But we're not going to end the Let's Play video just yet. I mean, it's only been 3 minutes. We might as well keep going, so yeah. We're going to go on to Chapter 1. This was just a prologue. Things will get a little more interesting now. Okay, we save the data. Chapter 1. The battle begins. And indeed, the battle does begin. Here we are at the mercenary fort. There are a few characters outside the fort right now. We'll meet some of these characters later on. And we have a new character right here. This is Titania, or Titania. I think it's Titania, but I'm not really good with names. There are a lot of names in this game which are kind of iffish to me. It could be Titania, it could be Titania. It's probably Titania, though. So, Titania is the captain of the mercenary company. One of the captains, I think. There might be another one, for all I know. But I think Titania is the supposed captain of the group. And they're going over a mission. And we're going to be fighting a group of bandits today, actually. And she's taking Oscar and Boyd. We'll meet Oscar in a few minutes. And it looks like we're going to join him as well. So, yeah, this first mission will be me, Boyd, or not me, Ike, Boyd, Titania, and this Oscar guy. So, yep, we're going to get ready to get set up, and we'll be on our way to the first mission of the game. And here's Oscar. Oscar is actually Boyd's brother, his older brother, I think. Yeah, older brother, I believe. Unlike Boyd, Oscar is actually competent. He's actually very well prepared, while Boyd is kind of like self-centered and overconfident. But hey, every overconfident brother must have another brother to keep him in check, and Oscar is a good way of doing that. Okay, so as I said earlier, I want to go over the stats of the game really quickly. Just briefly, though, you'll see how some of them work out in later episodes, but here's just the key basic ones. There's HP, which is hit points. There's Strength, which is how much damage you will do. Well, actually, it's how much damage you'll do combined with your weapon, minus the enemy's defense, and there's like a whole big equation of how you actually do damage. But the more strength, the more powerful you are. Then there's magic. Those are for magic users. It's basically the strength of magic users. There's speed, which determines how fast you are, how well you can avoid things, and there's something else it does as well. Oh yeah, you can also get two attacks in one if you're lucky. Skill, that raises your hit percentage, and it also raises your critical hit percentage, which I'll go over later. There's defense, obvious one, like strength, only not offense, it's defense. And let's see, there's another one, resistance, which is the defense of magical attacks, and then there's luck, which has a bunch of different meanings actually, but okay, we're in the battle now, we're in the first chapter. Sorry, I kind of skipped a whole bunch of things. But Titania is actually going over a very important element of the game, the weapon triangle. It's essentially a rock, paper, scissors mechanic of the weapons in the game. Swords are strong against axes and weak against lances. Lances are strong against swords but weak against axes. And then axes are strong against lances but weak against swords. So keep this in mind when you're using enemies to attack other enemies, because you might change the flow of battle negatively or positively, determining on what you do. So right off the bat, we have some axe users, but I'm going over the stats of the units, the other units in the game right now. So yeah, Oscar is actually pretty good. He's level 3 right now. He has very high speed and he has very good defense. Well, Boy doesn't really have that much going for him at this minute. Now, Titania, she has a lot of good stats. However, she is what is referred to as a Jagan, which is a Fire Emblem term. Jagan is a character in another Fire Emblem game who's kind of like Titania is in this game, where she is actually of the 2nd level. Each unit, or each unit type, has 2 levels. And she is of the higher class, which means she is essentially stronger, but she also gains experience very slowly. So we want to kind of avoid using her for the first few chapters. She can come in handy in a few later chapters, but for now we're not really going to worry about using Titania. So we're going to keep her to the sidelines. Maybe she can go inside some of the houses and get items from the villagers. Something else I'll go over in a little bit. But yeah. So really don't... You can probably use Titania and get away with it, but don't try to use her very much, because some of your other units may lose out in experience and you might be screwed later on. You might be, you might not, but you might be, so always be careful. You can enter some villages, and some villages will actually give you items and weapons. Just make sure there's an open door in front of the house, and then you can go there. Now, enemies can actually destroy those houses, so you want to get there as fast as you can. There's actually one that's going to get destroyed automatically without us being able to do anything about it. See, this guy is going to... It's those fool villagers. They think they can buy a bunch of cell swords to chase us away? Yeah, he doesn't like that, so he's going to go over to the house, and he's going to burn it down to the ground. How could he do that? But he did it, so he is a very, very bad unit. He's very, very bad. We'll have to teach him a lesson in a little bit. But I seem to be reaching the time limit for my YouTube video, so I'm going to have to call it quits for right now. Don't worry, I should be able to finish this chapter in the next video, so yeah, it shouldn't really take me that long. But I think I covered a great deal today, so thankfully I won't have to cover all this stuff in later episodes, so we can just keep the episodes rolling. But I'm going to go ahead and close the video here. This is SlimKirby. This has been Fire Emblem Path of Radiance.